I'm Lou Jaffe. This is the One Day MBA. Hey folks, thank you so much for coming by and helping me film the One Day MBA. What's so unique about all of you is not only were you kind enough to sit through the lessons, of which hopefully everybody got something out of, but I've known each one of you for numerous years because you're part of my inner circle, my go-to folks that I get to trust, and I am so happy to have you supporting me while I'm through this, because it's been quite a day of shooting. But I know each one of you from our little conversation took away something different, but I'm sharing this as a bonus reel to the folks that bought the program. And I would love to talk about some of the things, what you took out of it. I know what I share, but again, I always care about what the people on the other side get. So let's talk about some of this stuff. Anybody want to take the lead on what was something that you want everybody out there to really consider?
I think coming from a corporate background and having the experience through time, I believe that the 7 C's are a way of structure your thinking that really provides then, again, a system to go out and analyze your business, understand where your cash position is, what your customers are. It gives you a way of thinking about business that it's structured and doesn't allow you to then feel that you have an open place you haven't gone through for your studying, for your analysis, for your way of thinking. So I think the 7 C's is part of the core of the program that I really took away from.
Which is the important C?
Oh, wow, that's a hard, I'm a marketer. I would start with customers, but the truth is that they're all very much interrelated. It's not one with the other. I think you make the case of that, right?
And because I love that. It's so much like, which one of your 7 kids do you like the best?
Right.
They're all so very important. And it's that whole ecosystem that everything connects. Nothing is in a vacuum. You can't just do one thing to make a business great. And well, there's a couple of one things you can do to make a business awful, but it all interacts, it all works together. How about you, Chris? What works for you?
I've always enjoyed this one, even from class with you, but passionately dispassionate. In my mind, people get so caught up in what they do on a daily basis, and they get so much in their own grooves, and they might be making money, and you're caught up with your customers and your employees and whoever else it might be, but you also need to take a step back and come out of your position and look at it from a 100-foot view and get out of your body and be able to see what really is in front of you that you might be blinded to, which when you're in the moment. So being able to kind of have almost these little spiritual experiences throughout business, to be able to take a step back and look at your life, but also look at your business and say, all right, there's another way we could go here that maybe we should be going.
So it was really interesting because today I was talking with John, the producer, about where our markets and where our next steps. And he had this clear vision. And because I've been working on this for so long, and so many people over the years have told me, you should put this stuff, you should record it and make it available, and you could probably make some money at the same time with it. And I was really focused. I've been so busy for the last year putting all this together and making something that I think is really going to be awesome. And he said, this is how you need to sell it. But I had been so far down a path that I'm going to do it one way. And it was like, oh my God, I forgot to be dispassionate in my passion and in the moment. I actually took a step back, and I think we're going to go in a whole different direction, because I realized, in spite of myself, I should always remember that I am not the smartest person in the room. Unless, of course, it comes to video compression algorithms, since none of you guys write code. But we'll let that one slide.
Just on that point really quick too, though, I think for the audience as well, being able to have mentors around you that you can go to and ask, that kind of keep you in check. It's like I come to you and ask you questions all the time, and it's incredible to have people like you to be able to say, hey, you are maybe looking at this the wrong way.
And that is such a powerful point. And one of the lessons is all around mentors, but I'm so lucky because I have a couple of my mentors that I talk to almost every day. So mentoring never gets old. It never goes away. And so thank you for bringing up that word, because that is like rock star.
Well, Lou, what I love about you, and we've known each other a long time in business and been in many businesses, but you take everything that you've experienced and you bring it to the personal level. Because at the end of the day, all of the theories in the world go out the window if you miss the person and the authenticity of that person. And that's, you exemplify that, and I think in all of your relationships, most of your friends exemplify that, and I think to be successful in business, you have to be your authentic self. You know, you talk about building trust, and I was sitting there thinking of different things that I've experienced, which one of my mantras is always do what you say you're gonna do. You know, that's kind of at the core for me of integrity of people. Do they do what they say they're gonna do? And you just have so many of those things that you've experienced through the years, and what I loved listening to you is that you're not just talking from a theoretical standpoint, you're talking from what's worked for you, and everybody else needs to figure out what worked. I always say, what's your secret sauce as a person? And so I think you help people not just understand the business, but understand why this business is the right business for them, or whatever they're doing is, you know, speaks
Cool.
to their soul. And I think when you can find that, you will be successful in life. At least that's my experience.
And I think that's a phenomenal lesson, not only that I made, but thank you so much very much for sharing that. How about you, Jeff? You've been around me for years. We've worked on a business together. You've spoken in my classes. You've worked with some of my students. What do you get out of all this? Because you've seen this so many times over and over again. What right now, after you just watch it again, what's resonating, and what do you think would help those folks?
Well, I think having a mentor, someone that reminds you of the things that you need to be reminded of all the time is really critical, and that's where one of the roles that you've played. And of the C's, while all of them are very important, as you said, the one that really stood out for me again today was the clock. And that's the one where you have a finite amount of time and you need to spend it well. And there are many times when we would sit down together and I'd say, oh, I have this idea and we're working on this, and you would have to bring that focus back because especially when you're starting a business, when you're doing a new venture, you're really trying to do everything all at once, and you need to stay focused on that. And the second thing that resonated with me again today, and it just was something that I happened to notice in one of my notebooks just the other day, was don't sell, create buyers. And going through this process right now with the new line of business that I have, you know, there's a very fine line about if you're selling and you're pitching a price to them and looking for discounts, as opposed to getting someone so passionate about what you do and the product or the service that you offer that they're just opening up their checkbook and how much is this again, and you can see that in that relationship that you build with the potential buyers.
Awesome, thank you so much. Saving the best for last, except for everybody else was the best.
Well, on that note,
And you too.
thank you. One of the things you talked about was being yourself and having integrity in that which you choose to do. And I think it's a vital lesson. And it's one of those things that, you know, for our generation, we used to say, integrity is not what you do when someone's watching. It's what do you do when no one's watching. The realities are, everyone's watching all the time now. You no longer have the luxury of hoping that you're not going to get caught if you do something that's improper. It's going to be found out at some point. So you should live a life with integrity. You should conduct yourself with integrity in your business, because the realities are, it's a better way to make money. You'll be more successful if you do that. And you can live with yourself to a much greater extent, as opposed to those people who are looking to cut the corners. So I think it's important to factor that into all the things. Be yourself, do the right thing, and you'll be successful. Even if you're helping someone without the expectation of getting something in return, if you're mentoring someone, if you're just being helpful, ultimately that pays off.
Couldn't agree more. So hopefully, folks, you've enjoyed this little backstage experience with my friends. The important thing to understand is everything connects. Nothing's in a vacuum. Whether it be all 7 important C's, whether it be integrity, whether it's remembering, take a step back and be passionately dispassionate, whether it be help people be buyers, show them your passion, show them why they want to be involved, because then they will stay with you through the rough times. So I hope you folks get a lot out of this. I know it's been a pleasure serving you, and I am so blessed to have all of you in my life. So thank you so very much. And everybody, have a great day.